Hello and welcome to the Online Graduate Research Forum for Fall 2015. My name is Rudolph Gutierrez, your presenter. I am a graduate student in the Masters of Science and Interdisciplinary Studies program in the Department Occupational Workforce and Leadership Studies at Texas State University. The title of my research study is Interactive Voice Response Technology Comparing Speed, Cost, and Accuracy. As a program manager in the call center industry for over 18 years, I have a vested interest in continuing to learn about technology and human interactions. I was excited to pursue this research study to investigate interactive voice response systems after I read that consumers don't need the latest and greatest technology, they just want their calls answered. At some point during our lives, we all interact with an automated system because technology continues to grow and evolve all around us. Human interaction is constantly being replaced by technology, particularly when it comes to repetitive processes. The purpose of this research is to compare speed, cost, and accuracy between technology and live operators to help businesses make informed decisions when they are considering implementing automation to replace a live operator or vice versa, and in some cases using an integration of both. Dell in 2007 wrote that the matrix of quality, control, and cost were required for making an assessment when considering an automated process. My research design focused on the costs related to the call duration and accuracy of the calls routed. Call quality and control were not part of the research due to the time constraints. What also needs to be considered is incremental costs associated with an inaccurately routed call that required a call transfer. Since technological changes can affect consumers and businesses alike, I selected both call types in my data capture from the year 2014 at Dell. The combined data equated to 1.4 million calls. No confidential data was acquired as part of this process, and I used the call data to determine if the calls from an automated process or the human interactive process was timely and accurate. Simply put, customers don't need a wow factor to get their calls answered right the first time. So what is an IVR? An IVR is an acronym for Interactive Voice Response. It is a technology that allows a form of communication between a computer and a human using either voice commands or touch tones through a keypad. The purpose of an IVR is to enable human and computer interactions. An IVR can be used by a company to gather data on customer behavior with accurate details on the date, time, duration, and may include other customer information depending on the purpose and design of the IVR. IVRs can retrieve information such as flights, schedules, banking information, order status, and movie times, to name a few things. IVRs are intended to process multiple calls simultaneously. The data capture makes them beneficial to a business. They are beneficial to a customer in most cases by efficiently providing details and in some cases confidential information that the consumer may not wish to share with a live operator. At Dell, there are several types of IVRs: speech, touch tone, and natural language, as well as live voice operators. The types of technology utilized depends on where the greatest benefit is provided to service the customer and provide the company with the means to route a customer to an agent. In my research, I utilized SQL and Microsoft Excel software to extract and analyze the call data. SQL captured the raw data from the original source, and Excel was used to display the data in pivot tables and charts. Using primary data, I was able to view the call routing destinations by both the IVR and the live operator to accurately reflect the call duration, accuracy of the calls, and the costs. Call duration in my findings reflected speech maintaining a 90-second average, getting the customer from the start of the menu to a live individual. Touch tone followed at an even quicker pace at just 60 seconds, followed by a live operator. The live operator reflected two different times, depending on where the call was routing from, at a short duration of 87 seconds to as long as 177 seconds before the customer reached a representative to provide a service. Factors that influence speech menus include background noise and the vocabulary recognition. However, with speech, The vocabulary can be expanded over time and is optimal for companies that offer an array of offerings and services. Touch tone can be restrictive and evolve into a cumbersome menu, while on the other hand, short menus result in lower costs due to lower call durations and are optimal for specialty services or fewer offerings and services. Live operators are managed through call metrics, which can influence their talk time and transfer processes. Lee and Lai in 2005 made the distinction that humans are inherently proactive, whereas an IVR is simply reactive. Call accuracy in my findings reflected speech with an 86% accuracy rate, getting the customer to their intended destination. Touch tone had an 84% accuracy rate, followed by live operators at a 72% accuracy rate. The accuracy of call routing can be influenced not only by the technology or the live operator's capability to handle the call, but by the customer behavior. Customers may choose options they think will result in contacting a representative the quickest. A flawed menu design that is too simple or too complicated can result in inaccurate call routing as well as inadequately articulated options in a menu that is misunderstood by the customer. Costs in my findings reflected here are the incremental costs based on call volume for inaccurately routing a customer, which results in a call transfer. Speech with an inaccuracy rate of 14% resulted in an incremental cost of over $100,000 over the course of a year. Touch tone with an inaccuracy rate of 16% resulted in a lower cost, just under $5,000. And live operators with an inaccuracy rate of 28% resulted in an incremental cost of over $200,000. No matter how quick or minimal the financial costs may be associated with handling a call, no cost is more difficult to accept than an inaccurately routed call. The cost is only one of the many factors associated with misrouted calls. Another is a poor customer experience, which can result in the loss of business and negative publicity. Call volume also plays a factor in the impact of the costs, as reflected here in my research. An assumption in my study was that live operators would have had the most accurate call routing for the transfer destinations. Given this assumption, I recommend that future research examine agent behavior to determine if inaccuracies in call handling are driven by call center metrics. Businesses are metric driven and may drive agents to perform in a particular manner that is not in the best interest of the customer. A qualitative research analysis on agent behavior would potentially produce a business case that could be utilized to improve the customer experience. My study was limited to data which was sales driven. Given this limitation, I recommend that future research examine customer behavior to determine if inaccuracies in call handling are driven by customer behavior as the result of the form of technology or live operator interactions. Customers that are unfamiliar with technology or business processes may intentionally negate a process, creating the false perception of an issue with technology. A qualitative research analysis on customer behavior would potentially produce a business case that could be utilized to improve the customer experience as well. This study is extremely important as call centers continue to invest in technology and automated processes become more automated with fewer human interactions. The citations for the quotes used in this presentation are reflected on this page. The author is preparing a manuscript of the research study for peer review in the publication International Journal of Human-Computer Interaction. On the YouTube page below, please indicate your anonymous preference for the study by clicking on one of these two icons. Also, please post your comments or questions on the YouTube comment section below. I will respond to your inquiries posted November 17th through December 8th. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have found this to be worthwhile and informative.